Welcome, dear lovers of literature. Today we will talk about the story The Knights Pardaillan, a historical novel written by the French author Michel Zevaco, first published in the early 20th century. The novel narrates the adventures of two knights, father and son, in the spirit of love and sword stories, typical of Zevaco's writings. The story of the two knights takes place in the 16th century in France, during the reign of Charles IX. The story begins by showing us the love between François de Montmorency and Jeanne de Pienne. There was great enmity between the two families, François' father dispossessing Jeanne's father of his property. Henry, François' brother, was also in love with Jeanne and out of jealousy tells her father about the secret love between her and François de Montmorency. Her father was very angry. But as he was dying, François proposed that they get married at the church in the village that very night. At the end of the service, the old man dies peacefully, knowing that Jeanne is safe. After the service, François de Montmorency goes to the castle and meets his father there. The constable in de Montmorency sends François to Therouanne to stand up to Emperor Charles V, who had invaded France. François protests, but has nowhere to go and agrees to go to war. Behind him remains Henry, to whom he leaves Jeanne in his care. After François leaves, Henry goes to Jeanne and lies to her, telling her that he went to war to forget about the wedding made against his will and that he doesn't love her. Jeanne, being at her nurse's house, fell ill, but recovered after the birth of her little girl. After a while, François returns, but Henry kidnaps the little girl from Jeanne and threatens to kill her if she does not confirm what he said in front of François. When François arrives, Henry, in front of Jeanne, tells him that she was unfaithful to him. She does not contradict him for fear that her child will die and François leaves her. Then there is a duel between François and Henry, when Henry is very seriously injured, but François did not want to kill him in a moment of lucidity. In the meantime, the knight Pardaillan, the father, appears, who returns the girl to Jeanne because he had taken her on Henry's order, and also gives her a diamond ring to have money for her trip to Paris, because Jeanne went with the girl to Paris, where he knew François had gone. In Paris, she went to the de Montmorency family palace and met with François' father, who forced her to sign a letter canceling her marriage to François under the threat that if she didn't do it, he would send François to prison. Years pass and we find her in a modest apartment with her daughter who is now 16 years old. The girl falls in love with Pardaillan's son, also a knight and a very skilled one with a heart of gold. After several adventures, Henry finds out where the two women are hiding and kidnaps them. But Jeanne leaves a letter for the young knight Pardaillan to take to François de Montmorency. Their search begins and finally Pardaillan father and son. By chance they duel right in front of the house where Jeanne and her daughter were sheltering. Jeanne saves their lives by opening the door of her house. After they recover, Pardaillan's son sneaks out of the house and looks for François de Montmorency and brings him to Jeanne. But it was too late. When Jeanne sees him she loses her mind. He realizes and faints. This is how the tragic story of the two lovers ends. Zevaco's writing combines elements of historical fiction with adventure, appealing to fans of classic swashbuckling tales. If you liked it, please subscribe. This is how you help our channel to develop. Thank you.